Welcome to Nerdy Psychology, where your mind's not as messy as it seems. We break it down with a little curiosity and make sense of your thoughts and your themes. So be curious, stay kind, keep your mind nerdy.
Have you ever been in a professional setting and felt like you had to be very careful about how you showed up? What you said, how you said it, how agreeable you were? Because somewhere in the back of your mind, there was this thought, I don't want to mess this up. Maybe it looked like saying yes to something that you didn't have time for, or smiling through something that didn't really quite sit just right, or nodding along with people you didn't actually agree with. Or even this, being in a room with other professionals, knowing some of their practices just don't align with your values, but feeling this quiet pressure inside to stay neutral. Not rock the boat. I don't want to be that person. But afterwards, you don't feel proud. You feel off. And if that's you, you don't lack professionalism. You just might be missing some professional boundaries. Hi nerds, welcome back to Nerdy Psychology. I'm Dr. Angel, and this is where we break down the patterns that quietly run your life. This month, we've been talking about boundaries. And today we're going to step into a space where boundaries feel especially complicated, and that's your professional life. Because this isn't just about feelings. This is about reputation, opportunity, relationships, and how you're perceived. So of course it feels high stakes, but here's what I want to explore today. What if the thing you think is protecting your reputation is actually draining you? Let's start with something a lot of professionals, they just won't say out loud. There's this unspoken belief that being agreeable equals being successful. You're asked to take on one more client or join one more project or attend one more meeting, and your schedule's already totally full, topped out. But your brain goes, oh, I don't want them to think I'm difficult. I don't want to miss out on an opportunity. I don't want to disappoint them. So what do you say? You say yes, and you say yes, and you say yes. And again, what's underneath this when your identity is tied to being competent, being reliable, being well-liked? Saying no can feel like a threat to all of it, especially for high-level professionals. Your reputation matters. You start believing, if I'm not agreeable, I won't be respected. Reframe. Agreeability might get you access, but boundaries earn you respect. And there's a difference. Okay, so let's talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough. Okay, you're at a professional event and you're making connections and you're having conversations, and then you run into someone in your field or someone you know and professionally, and you know their work, and something about it does not sit right with you. Maybe their practices feel unethical, or their marketing feels misleading. Maybe their approach conflicts with your values. But socially, everything says, be polite, be professional, keep it light. So now you're standing there thinking, do I engage? Should I distance myself? Am I overthinking this? am I the problem? And here's the kicker. You start feeling like you're doing something wrong. What's actually happening is that this is a boundary conflict between your professional values and social professional expectations. When you don't have strong internal boundaries, other people's behavior can make you question your own integrity. You can be respectful and professional and composed without aligning yourself with someone else's values or practices. You don't have to agree. You don't have to endorse. You don't have to engage beyond your comfort level. So here's some simple boundary language. That's an interesting approach. Neutral, definitely not endorsing. Or, I tend to do things a bit differently in my work. Or, I found a different model that just works better for my clients. You're not even attacking them. You're just anchoring yourself. Okay, this next one runs deep. Are they talking about me? What if they think I'm not good enough? What if they think I'm a fake or a fraud? What if someone says something negative about me? And here's the part that's hard. Even when there's no evidence, your mind writes the rest of that story and it fills in those blanks. You don't get a referral. You notice a shift in someone else's tone. Someone starts to seem a little different or cold. And then your brain goes, did I do something wrong? What's underneath this? When your sense of security is tied to this external validation from others, you start to manage your reputation through overfunctioning or being extra accommodating, or being extra available and agreeable. You cannot control what people think of you. You cannot control what people say about you or how people interpret you. But you can control whether you stay aligned with your values. Instead of asking, do they like me? Shift to, am I operating in integrity with who I am? Am I in alignment with myself? And that's a boundary. Next, we're going to talk about overgiving and professional burnout, because this one really happens a lot. And this is where it all kind of catches up with us. You're answering emails late at night. You're taking on extra responsibilities. You're saying yes when you're so stretched, so thin, and you're laying awake going, how on earth am I going to get this done? Because somewhere in your mind, that's what it takes to be successful. That's what it takes to be respected. But over time, you don't just feel busy. You feel drained, depleted, resentful. You feel disconnected from your work, from yourself, from your friends and family. Burnout is not always about workload. It's often about a lack of boundaries around your workload. So it's really important to practice professional boundaries with phrases like, you know what, I'm at capacity right now. Can we revisit this at another time? That's not something I can take on right now at this moment. Or I don't respond to emails X time or on the weekends. Important reminder, if people are used to unlimited access to you, your boundaries were going to feel like a change to them. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. I want you to reflect this week. Where in your professional life are you over adjusting? Saying yes when you mean no, or staying quiet when something doesn't align, or managing how others might be perceiving you. Just pick one. Just one. And this week, practice showing up slightly more aligned, not perfect, just more honest with ourselves. And if this episode resonated with you, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, because next we're diving into relationship boundaries. And that one is going to hit on a whole different level. And if you're noticing, I don't even know what my boundaries are in my professional life, that's where this work really starts. My workbook, Your Next Chapter, helps you to clarify your values and recognize where you're overgiving and start making those shifts that align with who you actually are. Because success without alignment will burn you out every time. I will link that below if you want to go deeper. So here's what I want you to take with you. You do not have to shrink, over agree, or compromise your values to be respected, to be successful. The right people, the right opportunities, the right clients will align with you because of your boundaries and your values, not in spite of them. And as always, stay curious, be kind, and keep your mind nerdy. That's a wrap. See you next week.
So be curious, stay kind, keep your mind